So you've just been told that your Porsche engine needs to be rebuilt or worse, replaced. After you've digested the bad news, you have a big decision to make. Often, the first option that is considered is finding a used engine. If you go this route, be sure you trust the seller and that they provide some sort of guarantee or warranty. In most cases, the labor to remove and reinstall a Porsche Boxster, Cayman, or 911 engine, along with the cost of additional parts that are necessary to do the swap, can be as much or more than the cost of the used engine alone. If you do have a problem with the used engine, the cost to redo this work will end up costing more than a full rebuild of your original engine. To protect yourself, ideally you should ask for a video recording of the engine running, along with leak down and running compression test numbers. Engines that are prone to cylinder bore scoring need to have the cylinders scoped, with video and photos taken showing they are free of this issue. In a perfect world, you'd be able to have an oil sample taken and sent to a lab for analysis, but since that's often not possible, asking for an inspection of the sump and oil filter may provide added security. Another word of caution. There are unscrupulous people out there selling engines as used that are actually what we call sweep-the-floor engines. Engines that are cobbled together from several blown-up engines. Used engines should be uniformly dirty. If the engine looks like it's been apart, it probably has. Some sellers will offer used Porsche engines that have been fitted with new IMS bearings. Although on the surface this looks like a good thing, it can also hide the fact that the engine had previously suffered an IMS bearing failure. Lastly, it may be tempting to buy a cheap rebuilt Porsche engine, but realize that there is no hard and fast definition for what a rebuild entails or requires. The definition of a rebuilt engine can vary slightly depending on the standards of the rebuilder, but generally, it involves refurbishing of the engine to bring it back to good working condition. At a minimum, a rebuilt engine typically includes taking the engine apart, inspecting the components for wear and damage, replacing parts that are too worn or damaged to function properly, and then cleaning all the parts. However, many of the engines advertised as rebuilt are actually just repaired. These engines have had the bare minimum done to make them run without thorough remanufacturing and reconditioning. Irregardless of what route you choose, it is important to discuss your options with a Porsche specialist before making the final decision.
Call or visit ellenengineering.com to learn more.